नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं राजेश कपूर टेक टॉक्स के इस शो से आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत करता हूं। हमारे इस सीज़न 3 के अंदर आप कुछ नया देखने वाले हैं, आप कुछ नया जानने वाले हैं, आपको हम लोग कुछ नए आयामों के बारे में बताने वाले हैं और आप हमारे साथ यदि बंधे रहेंगे तो मैं आपको वादा करता हूं कि आप हमारे इस शो के ऊपर भी ज़रूर आमंत्रित किए जाएंगे। सो हम लोग यहाँ पर उन एक्सपर्ट्स को आज लेकर आए हैं आपके सामने जो जाने माने हैं अपने फील्ड के अंदर तो, लेकिन साथ ही में जिनको ये एक मुकाम हासिल है कि उन्होंने इंडस्ट्री के अंदर अपने सोच और समझ से तब्दीलियां ऐसी ऐसी करी कि आज इंडस्ट्री उनको उन तब्दीलियों की वजह से याद करती है। सो फ्रेंड्स, इसी सीरीज को आगे बढ़ाते हुए हम आज इस एपिसोड के अंदर आपको 5 ऐसे धुरंधरों से मिलाने वाले हैं जिन्होंने टेक्नोलॉजी की दुनिया के अंदर वाकई में एक ऐसा काम किया है जिसको हम आने वाले समय तक याद रखेंगे। सबसे पहले हमारे को ये जानना ज़रूरी है कि जिन साइबर सिक्योरिटीज़ की हम लोग बातें करते हैं, आखिर उनका जन्म कैसे हुआ। हम लोग ये जानने की कोशिश करेंगे कि आईटी स्ट्रक्चर जिसके ऊपर इन सिक्योरिटीज़ को हम लोग आधारित करते हैं, उसका जन्म कैसे हुआ। तो इस सीरीज़ को हम लोग आगाज़ देंगे एक ऐसे एक्सपर्ट से जिनका नाम है कमल शर्मा और जो आईटी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के एक एक्सपर्ट माने जाते हैं। तो आइए सबसे पहले उनका स्वागत कर लें। कमल जी, बहुत बहुत स्वागत है आपका हमारे शो में।
हेलो एवरीवन।
कमल को तो हम मिल लिए, लेकिन हम उनको कैसे भूल सकते हैं जिन्होंने इस शो को अपनी पहचान दी, जिन्होंने इस शो को बनाने में हमारे को पूरी मदद करी। साइबर सिक्योरिटी के ऐसे एक्सपर्ट जो देश और विदेश दोनों में ही बहुत ही ख्याति प्राप्त कर चुके हैं, डॉक्टर नवीन धाम। हम इनसे पहले भी रूबरू हो चुके हैं और इस सीरीज़ के अंदर भी हम उनको कस के पकड़ने वाले हैं क्योंकि उनसे हमारे को जो मिला है वो बहुत ही रेयर है और हम चाहते हैं कि वो लगातार हमारे को इसी तरह की गाइडेंस देते रहें। डॉक्टर साहब, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है हमारे इस शो के अंदर।
धन्यवाद।
डॉक्टर नवीन, दिस इज़ द सीजन 3 ऑफ टेक टॉक्स। हाउ डू यू फील?
I'm feeling very excited because here we are doing something different when we are inviting the people from the industry who are going to share their expert advices and the best practices which we have to follow in the industry. So
Precisely, sir. I fully agree with you, and I'm also as excited as you are. And in fact, I must tell my viewers here that we are going to be talking cyber securities and understanding it in the chronological format. When I say chronology, Dr. Saab, I mean that we are to understand the origination of this.
correct.
जब हम लोग ये बात करते हैं ओरिजिनेशन की, तो हमारे सबसे पहले ख्याल में आता है कि आफ्टर ऑल हमको सिक्योरिटीज़ के बारे में सोचना ही क्यों पड़ा। कमल जी से जब मैं बात कर रहा था तो उन्होंने बहुत राइटली हमें बताया कि यदि हमारे आईटी स्ट्रक्चर्स इन प्लेस ना होते तो सिक्योरिटीज़ भी हम लोग सोच नहीं पाते। कमल जी, बहुत खूब था ये आपका थॉट। तो पहले तो अपने बारे में कुछ बताइए हमारे को।
My name is Kamal Sharma. I've been part of IT industry for almost 20 years. I have worked for different industry segment, BFSI, education, manufacturing, robotics, and some of the key players like paints and all. My forte is IT operations, information security, auditing, and compliance to it. Currently, I'm working with Encore ARC as in GM IT.
या कमल जी, इसमें मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहूँगा जैसे कि आईटी स्ट्रक्चर जो आप बनाते हो एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, जो पहले भी बनते थे आज भी बनते हैं, अब पहले और आज में क्या फ़र्क है, जबकि आज उसके ऊपर हमें साइबर सिक्योरिटी इम्प्लीमेंट करनी पड़ रही है, तो आप इसके बारे में क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
So नवीन जी, आई थिंक पहले हमें ये समझना पड़ेगा आईटी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है क्या. So IT infrastructure is a generic term, very high level, under which we can see hardware, network, जिसमें हम डेटा स्टोरेज की बात करेंगे, हम डेटा बैकअप की बात करेंगे, मॉनिटरिंग टूल की बात करेंगे, क्लाउड सर्विसेज की बात करेंगे. Now, having said that, from past 8 to 10 years, we have seen a different paradigm shift, having everything on premise to a more of a hybrid kind of approach. Hybrid here, I mean, people are moving slowly and gradually to the cloud. Cloud, again, why we are looking for cloud? because it is more scalable, flexible, easy, and you can quickly have, like, within half an hour or 1 hour, you can have your machine. So that's a paradigm shift which I have seen in recent past.
So, Kamalji, according to you, what is the must-have security procedure every organization should adhere to?
आई नो कमल जी, ही इज अ कंप्लायंस मैन. तो अब वो सिक्योरिटी प्रोसीजर्स के हिसाब से ना बड़े बड़े उसमें असमंजस में आ चुके हैं कि कहीं आप हमारे सिक्योरिटी को दरकिनार ना कर दीजिएगा.
Rightly said. So it's a tricky question. So why I say tricky question? Because we say security should be in place. That's a generic statement. When we deep dive, we should have a perimeter level of security. Perimeter is more of a firewall in place, which is defending your network from the outside attack. But having said that, all the end user machine here, I mean laptop or desktop, should also have their own security in place, antivirus, having advanced level of security, MDM, DLP, email. If for example you have email platform as in corporate email platform, you should have email security in place. Having all your technology tool in place, if you don't monitor these tools, then there is no fun. That's my response. Apart from that, I think it's equally important to address backup and DR terminology also. So if I don't have backup, and God forbid something happened to my machine or my network, and I would not be able to restore my services or my data, then it's a gone case for me. So I should have a backup in place and a DR as in disaster recovery sites in place, so that my end user should not suffer in terms of when crisis happen.
बहुत बढ़िया. तो ये थे दोस्तों कमल शर्मा, जो हमें बता रहे थे कि बेस तो आईटी स्ट्रक्चर का ही बनता है. जब हम आईटी स्ट्रक्चर को इन प्लेस कर देते हैं तो उसके बाद ही कहीं सिक्योरिटीज़ जाकर कहीं ईजाद होती हैं, कहीं उनका रोल आता है, हम समझ पाते हैं कि क्या सिक्योरिटीज़ इस स्ट्रक्चर को और ज़्यादा अच्छे मजबूती से खड़ा रखेंगी. तो कमल जी, आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, धन्यवाद आपका, एंड वील बी इन टच सर. तो अब दोस्तों हम लोग रुक करते हैं एक ऐसे एक्सपर्ट के यहाँ जो हमारे को ये समझाने वाले हैं कि वो आखिर आईटी के लोगों को समझाते क्या हैं. जी हाँ, उनका काम है सिक्योरिटीज़ को समझाना, उनका काम है अवेयरनेस को पैदा करना, जो कि हम इस प्रोग्राम के ज़रिए भी कर रहे हैं, लेकिन वो कुछ खास तरीके से करते हैं. तो आइए जानते हैं, आइए समझते हैं कि वो क्या करते हैं.
दोस्तों, जैसे कि हमने आपको बताया कि हम अवेयरनेस के बारे में बात करने जा रहे हैं, तो अमन जी हमारे साथ हैं जो अवेयरनेस, जो सिक्योरिटी अवेयरनेस है उसके बारे में हमें कुछ बताएंगे.
अमन जी, सबसे पहले तो आप अपने बारे में कुछ बताइए.
Thank you so much, both of you, for inviting me on this stage, and a very hello to my viewers. So, I have more than 20 years of experience, and in these 20 years, I have worked in different domains of security. So when we talk of different domains like network security, endpoint security, compliance, governance, cloud security, so I have worked in different roles with different organizations. So in terms of, I have handled the very small clients with few systems to the complex environments such as Singapore Exchange. So during all this tenure, I have worked at a different level of, you can say, organization, and with the kind of a skill set that I work in different roles. Now I'm in a kind of a situation where I can help organizations at a different level, be it the governance, be it the compliance, or any kind of a role I can take now.
सो अमन जी, जब आप ये बताते हैं कि आप इतने सारे यूज़र्स को ट्रेन करते हैं, उनके अंदर अवेयरनेस स्प्रेड कर रहे हैं साइबर सिक्योरिटीज़ के विषय में, डिफरेंट तरीके के माइंडसेट से मिलना होता होगा आपसे. और कुछ लोग तो ऐसे होते होंगे जो आसानी से समझ लेते होंगे कि आईटी की अवेयरनेस के बारे में, मतलब साइबर सिक्योरिटीज़ क्या होती हैं. कुछ लोग होते होंगे जो आपसे क्वेश्चन करते होंगे कि कहीं आप पैसे बनाने की कोशिश तो नहीं कर रहे, उनको डरा कर. तो क्या एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं, कुछ शेयर कीजिए हमारे साथ.
See, to be very honest, आजकल थोड़ा सा मार्केट के अंदर organizations में खुद में सेल्फ एक अवेयरनेस आ गया है. The kind of a cyber attacks are happening across the globe. डेली हम सुनते हैं ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, कोई ना कोई बड़ी बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस भी ब्रीच हो रही हैं, फिर उन पे लिटिगेशंस जाते हैं, उनका रेपुटेशन डैमेज होता है, उनको जो जितना वो बचाते नहीं अवेयरनेस के ऊपर सेव करके, उससे ज्यादा वो कहीं जब अटैक होता है तो उसकी रिकवरी में, इन्वेस्टिगेशन में, उन सब चीजों में वो लोग स्पेंड कर देते हैं. So because of all this, nowadays we are in a kind of a situation where organizations, they do feel that information security awareness of their employees is very important. So वहां पर अब हमें वो जो fear factor या selling वाला part नहीं रहता. It's more about now we have to educate an organization कि उनको वो चीज करनी कैसे है. क्योंकि इसमें हर बार आपको ऐसा नहीं मिलेगा कि एक डेफिनेटली, जैसे आपने बोला, कुछ लोगों का माइंडसेट होता है कि भाई आप मुझे कुछ सेल करने आ रहे हो. बट अगर हम उनको दिखाते हैं कि बेसिकली वी आर नॉट सेलिंग, वी आर एक्चुअली हेल्पिंग देम आउट इन एड्रेसिंग देयर वन ऑफ द कोर पेन एरिया, सो चीजें वो एड्रेस हो जाती हैं.
So, Aman, in all these trainings that you're conducting for various companies, do you really think that they are getting any benefit out of it? I mean, or if at all, supposing they are not, then what do you suggest them? And what through this platform you can address these companies to be listening to your sermons, your dictatements in a particular fashion, and get more aware of the cybersecurity things. What do you say?
See, Rajesh, first of all, let me tell you the problem that I generally see with these kind of organizations who are not able to get the desired benefit. One is like there are certain reasons if they, because of which they will not get the desired benefit. One is if they have a checkbox mentality, like they are doing just for sake of meeting the compliance requirement. Second is if they are doing something without any proper planning, then also they will not get the desired benefit. Third is a kind of a hit and run case. Like if they are calling someone, conducting a session today, and after 6 months they will do some e-learning video, or they may send us some random infographics, that will not work. So my suggestion to these kind of a company is adopt a comprehensive awareness program. When I say program, continuously engage your user throughout the year. Build the content using some professionals like Mr. Naveen is doing wonder for several organizations. I know him. Similarly, there are many people in our community who are doing this kind of wonderful work. So they can design a comprehensive awareness program for these organizations where the intent is keep the users engaged throughout the year. When you are feeding them information, it has to go through different means. You simply can't make it monotonous. When you're designing the content, it has to be engaging one. So it should be interesting. You need to design the content according to the audience and ensure that whatever you're doing it with a proper planning. Create a calendar, plan the activities, go with a theme-based approach. Like a particular month you're focusing on one particular topic, next month you are focusing on a different topic. Engage different, include your simulations, include your e-learning videos, include the emailers, use a multiple different ways of information. So definitely, if organizations are going with that kind of approach, they can easily get real benefit out of it. And as I said, that if they're facing challenge in designing these kind of a content, there are people in industry who can help them out. Mr. Naveen is one I would sincerely recommend. So he has been doing it for a lot of organizations.
Wonderful, Aman. It's been such a useful session with you. And honestly, अगर आपकी चीज़ों को follow करें आज, अगर कोई आपको ध्यान से सुन रहा है, तो उसको ये मालूम चल चुका होगा कि कहाँ वो कमी रखते हैं, कहाँ अपने अंदर सिक्योरिटीज़ को इम्प्लीमेंट करने में वो कमी छोड़ देते हैं. आई एम श्योर कंपनीज आपको सुनने के बाद आपको बहुत सीरियसली लेने वाली हैं. एंड डॉक्टर नवीन धाम जैसे एक्सपर्ट्स तो डेफिनेटली बहुत ही काफ़ी अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं इस सेगमेंट के अंदर. बट आपकी भी जो इनपुट्स हैं वो काबिल तारीफ़ हैं. वी विश यू सक्सेस फॉर योर फ्यूचर. विद दिस अमन वी बिड एड्यू टू यू एंड वी वुड वांट टू गो टू आवर नेक्स्ट गेस्ट, who is Mr.Jiten Motwani. Mr. Jiten is doing a wonderful job in cloud securities. अब क्लाउड का जो एक मौसम आ चुका है, मैं तो ये कहूँगा दुनिया बदल रही है, दुनिया जा रही है क्लाउड की तरफ. और इतनी बरसात हो रही है आज की डेट के अंदर क्लाउड की, जहाँ देखो डेटा सेंटर्स का बोलबाला है. तो ये क्लाउड क्या भला है, क्लाउड हमें और कैसे सिक्योरिटी प्रोवाइड कर रहा है, क्या हमारा इन हाउस स्ट्रक्चर वीक है तभी हम क्लाउड पे जा रहे हैं, ये सब चीज़ों के बारे में हम जानेंगे. आइए जितेन मोटवानी जी के पास चलते हैं, उनसे ही पूछते हैं.
Yeah, Jiten, before we go ahead, we would like to know something about yourself.
Sure. First of all, allow me to thank you for giving me this opportunity. About me, well, I am a technology person for the last 23 years of my career. I started my career right from understanding how computers function, fixing servers, installing operating systems. Went on to build clusters. Unix was my first love. Then I gradually got into Linux as a primary operating system for my career. And the time came when I got into cloud computing. I was fortunate enough to be introduced to cloud computing quite early in my career. And ever since then, I've been an evangelist for cloud computing and cloud security. Been associated with large MNCs like JP Morgan, Capgemini, Dhruva, and currently I'm associated with Trend Micro as a cloud security consultant. So that's about me.
Okay, that's good. Cloud has given a lot of avenues and it is giving, DR as well. But along with this, just wanted to know that whether it has opened the threat avenues as well.
Well, I would say open more threat avenues. I would say it's become more sophisticated. Now you need not worry about just an infrastructure which you have, built, about some network device that you have installed, but you have to actually think about a large landscape that you're talking about, because today cloud gives you the exposure globally, right? On top of that, beyond just pure infrastructure and cloud, today you need to worry about securing your serverless. You need to understand the risks that containers have, whether the container right from launching the container to ensuring that the template is secure, to ensure that once your container is running in the environment, is there any attack or possibility of attack? So the thought process has expanded enormously. We couldn't have thought something like having infrastructure as code, where if somebody just copy pastes a code from GitHub and installs an infrastructure, you don't know whether there is any injection of malware into it, right? Today we talk about APIs. So cloud has exposed a lot of APIs. It enables you to communicate with the product by taking advantage of the services of that product. So you need to ensure your APIs are secure. We didn't think about this earlier, right? This is all gradually kind of intellectually increasing our thought process as far as the adoption of cloud is concerned.
That's so wonderful, Jiten. In fact, we would love to carry on this conversation with you, but time is a big constraint here with us. So with this, viewers, we are now going to turn our conversations to the next topic, which is very big, and that is AI. This is the latest. And frankly speaking, AI is so big that we definitely would want to understand it from an expert. So here we go. We are going to welcome Mr. Vishwameet, who is an AI expert and who is considered to be very good in AI securities as well. So let's understand what is AI, and when we say AI securities, what kind of threat perceptions do we see really in an AI? So here goes. Let's know more about you.
Great. First of all, thank you so much for this opportunity, Rajesh and Naveen. I have been working in this industry for the last 20 plus years, had a fair share of working with the services organizations, the product organization, and some of them were the end client organizations as well. For now, what I do is with a company called OpenText. It's not known that much as a brand of cybersecurity, but they have inorganically grown in the last 10 years or so, had about 80, 90 acquisitions done. And the latest that they did was around most of the products that Micro Focus had. So all of these products into the realms of application security, security operations, namely the products being Voltage, Fortify, Oxide, Forensics as well, Encase. So being a product company, what I do with them is to enable our partners to utilize these products and work out their service offerings for the customer. So my job is basically to enable and develop these partners across the globe.
So Rajesh, he's not only an AI expert, he's also a data security expert.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
So we'll ask how the data security is different from AI security.
There is a lot of correlation between the two, because at the end of the day, AI works on data. The models that we have would require huge amounts of data to be working upon. So at the end of it, I think these would lie in a domain wherein they have to work in tandem. AI security cannot be done without data security. And to that facet, I think AI security involves more than just data security as well. The things are changing. Let's just look at some of the things wherein AI is affecting cybersecurity and data security. There are new methods and LLMs that are coming up, which are aiding the security products. The idea is to have as less false positives as possible. This could be in the, as I said, in the other areas beyond the data security as well, whether it's AppSec or SecOps. The other facet to it is, how does security affect AI or data security affect AI? And I'm going to be just taking both these things together, which is to have security affecting AI. You all basically would just appreciate the fact that this is a new attack surface that we are getting into. This would require a lot of new enhanced set of security controls and possibly the technologies as well. Coincidentally, if you would see, there is a lot that the framework organizations, the regulation organizations are doing. I'm sure you must have seen what NIST and OWASP have come up with, some of the guiding principles and frameworks in this area of applying security to this new attack surface. The other part of it is in the Gen AI, if you would see the prompts that we put in have a bit of filter in, but if you are creative enough, if you are more inquisitive enough, you would have prompts that could give you some facets which could affect the security as a whole. The malicious, unethical use of AI to generate, let's say, a phishing email, or for that matter, code, which is just in malware, it just gets us to possibly a paradigm wherein threat as a service would become more productized, or anything bad as a service in the security landscape would get more productized. So I think this is something that we all have to have an eye for in the next 1 year. And obviously the scale, speed of AI would require the security to keep pace with it. New LLMs, new possibilities. We call this right now the Internet of Clouds as an era. I'm sure the next 1 year would be basically the multi LLM that we will have for each industry. Within each industry, there could be usages that would require an LLM, which is very specific to that sub use case as well. So as it evolves, the scale, speed, in terms of what we deploy and develop and have the customers of ours use, I think it'll be important for security to keep pace with it, alongside data security, application security, all of different facets.
So when we are talking about the knowledge a person must have about his devices, about the softwares that he's using on the devices, I'm actually talking about and referring to an expert who's going to teach us this. Yes, of course, we have that expert on our panel today, and we are going to talk to him about the payment securities, the securities that he's rendering to various gateways. So let's go to him and find out more. I'm inviting Mr. Nitin Bhatnagar to the show now. Nitinji, I just introduced you to my viewers, and we want to know more about the payment securities. Please go on, and first of all, let us know something about you.
Yeah, I would like to thank you, Rajesh ji, for the introduction, and thanks for the opportunity. But let me quickly tell you about what I do. And my name is Nitin Bhatnagar, and I'm a regional director for PCI Security Standards Council in the country. What I do is create a lot of education awareness around the data security standards. That the PCI Security Standard Council has been working on. We have close to 15 data security standards today and being adopted by the global payment industry to protect the payment data. That's a quick, short brief about me and what I do.
We would want to, as told to you earlier, we would want to know more about what exactly do you mean when you say payment securities. So how is it that you're educating people, and please do elaborately tell.
Sure. So the PCI Security Standard Council actually has been formed by 5 major networks, payment networks, I would say, which is Visa, MasterCard, Amex, JCB, and Discover. And these standards are being developed by the PCI Security Standards Council. Now, what we do to the industry stakeholders is that we create education around how they could be able to protect the payment data by using the standards of PCI. Now, we try to create education with the regulators, with the government, officials, and also the stakeholders, which could be the domestic payment networks like NPCI, where we tell them, by using the payment data security standards in the ecosystem, how you can protect the payments. Now, with the payment data security, we are also trying to cater to the requirements of protecting the payment data. Again, that's the core function that we have, and we wanted to ensure that by adopting to the standards of PCI, we are able to safely, securely able to transact. Because that's the key for the PCI security standards, to create education and awareness around these standards.
So Nitin, please let us know about some of the threats which are very common and people are falling prey of them.
Thanks for that. But the threats are looming around, and I think the most common threats that we are today seeing is around the ransomware attacks. We are seeing phishing attacks around, and which is becoming common. I think these two threats are typically picking up the nerves of the industry, and I'm sure we all know that what phishing attacks are and what ransomware attacks are. But I think these two threats are keeping everyone uptight in terms of making sure that how they should be adopting to the standards and religiously following these standards, because the PCI security standards are completely technical in nature, and if implemented with the right intent, then you are assuring yourself, giving an assurance to yourself and to the stakeholders that your payment data is safe and secure.
नितिन, आप एक पेमेंट सिक्योरिटी, ऑनलाइन पेमेंट सिक्योरिटी एक्सपर्ट हैं. आपने काफ़ी सारी पॉलिसीज़ भी फॉर्मुलेट करी होंगी, आई एम श्योर, और कुछ प्रोटोकॉल्स भी बनाए होंगे जिसको हमें फॉलो करना चाहिए एज अ यूज़र. कुछ बताना चाहेंगे हमारे यूज़र्स को, हमारे व्यूअर्स को, कि कुछ बेसिक ऐसी चीज़ें जिसको वो फॉलो ज़रूर करें पेमेंट्स करते हुए ऑनलाइन.
Yeah, I think see payments point of view से I think one of the important thing जो यहाँ पे users को, consumers को, आपके viewers को ध्यान में रखनी चाहिए वो है, ये है पहली चीज कि आप जब भी पेमेंट ट्रांजैक्शन कर रहे हैं आपको अपने डिवाइसेस, पर्सनल डिवाइसेस और अपने कॉर्पोरेट डिवाइसेस को, ऑफिशियल डिवाइसेस को सेपरेट रखना चाहिए. कभी भी उसको मिक्स एंड मैच नहीं करिए, क्योंकि कभी भी जब कोई अटैकर आपको टारगेट करने की कोशिश करता है तो वो आपके कॉर्पोरेट ईमेल आईडी पे टारगेट करता है, और जब आप टारगेट किसी भी तरीके से फिशिंग के थ्रू या किसी और तरीके से आपको टारगेट किया जाता है, तो देन आप यू आर ट्राइंग टू गिव अवे योर इन्फॉर्मेशन, और आप वहां साइबर क्रिमिनल्स के विक्टिम बन जाते हैं. सो आइडियली दिस इज वेयर आई थिंक द यूजर्स हैव टू टेक वन स्टेप. द सेकंड इज टू क्रिएट अ स्ट्रॉन्ग पासवर्ड, एंड आई थिंक हमारे काफी अदर स्पीकर्स ने भी बोला मल्टी फैक्टर ऑथेंटिकेशन इज वेरी प्लेइंग अ क्रूशियल रोल. Enable all your social media accounts, all your accounts with the multi factor authentication, so that if the hackers knows your even password, they are not able to log into your account and get those personally identified information, which could be critical in protecting your information. So protect using your accounts using multi-factor authentication. I think that's the second. And third, most importantly, trying to not revealing your personally identified information on a public domain or on social media, so that you are not being victimized by the cyber criminals, and you're making yourself vulnerable. So these few steps, if taken, I think are the basics, but I think if taken, you would be able to protect yourself.
वंडरफुल. नितिन भटनागर, इनसे हम लोगों ने अभी चर्चा करी और आपको ये महसूस हुआ होगा कि चर्चा कितनी ज़रूरी है हम सभी के लिए. हम लोगों ने इस प्लेटफॉर्म के ज़रिए आपको ये एजुकेट करने की कोशिश करी है दोस्तों कि साइबर सिक्योरिटीज़ अब हमारी लाइफ का हिस्सा बन चुके हैं. यदि हम लोगों ने आईटी को नहीं अडॉप्ट किया, उनके तौर तरीक़ों को अडॉप्ट नहीं किया, ठीक से अडॉप्ट नहीं किया, तो डेफिनेटली हम लोग कुछ ऐसा खोने वाले हैं जिसका लॉस कुछ भी करके हम पूरा नहीं कर पाएंगे. ये बहुत ज़रूरी है. ये प्रोग्राम इसीलिए फॉर्मुलेट किया गया. GISPL का मैं यहाँ पे बहुत थैंक यू करना चाहूँगा. बहुत ज़्यादा उनका रोल रहा इस पूरे प्रोग्राम को, इस पूरी सीरीज़ को बनाने में. एक तरीके से उन्होंने इस पूरे इस थॉट प्रोसेस को ड्राइव किया कि कैसे हमें ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा उन चीज़ों के बारे में पता चले आम तौर पे जिनके बारे में कोई बात भी नहीं करना चाहता. सो डॉक्टर नवीन धाम, आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. आपने एक ऐसे प्रोग्राम को ईजाद किया, और क्लाउड एक्सेस को बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूं, जो कि एक बहुत अच्छा क्लाउड प्लेटफॉर्म है, कि उन्होंने इस आइडिया को सपोर्ट करने की सोची और GISPL के साथ मिलकर इस पूरे प्रोग्राम को एक अंजाम तक पहुंचाया. दोस्तों, आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया जो आप हर हफ्ते हमसे जुड़ते हैं और अपने फीडबैक्स हमारे पास भेजते हैं. इसी तरीके से अपना प्यार हमारे पास भेजते रहिए. GISPL के नंबर्स मैं यहाँ पर दे रहा हूँ, आप उनसे कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं, अपनी साइबर सिक्योरिटीज़ के बारे में उनसे चर्चा कर सकते हैं. क्लाउड एक्सेस एक प्लेटफॉर्म ऐसा है जिसको आप अडॉप्ट करना चाहें तो उनके नंबर्स मैं यहाँ पे दे रहा हूँ. और दोस्तों, हमारे नंबर्स में डेफिनेटली समय समय पर यहाँ फ्लैश करता रहता हूँ. हमसे जुड़िए, हमारे को अपने व्यूज़ भेजिए, हमारे को अपनी राय भेजिए, और हमारे को इस प्रोग्राम को और अच्छा बनाने में मदद कीजिए. इसके साथ ही इस प्रोग्राम को मैं यहीं पर विराम देता हूँ. अगले हफ्ते आपसे फिर मुलाकात होगी. धन्यवाद.